Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me, before I take my seat, to take this opportunity to respectfully call on President Johnson Sirleaf, our sister, to join me on this podium. Your Excellency, on behalf of all of us, a heartfelt gratitude to ECOWAS, who under your leadership made us all proud. As you stood with your colleagues in ECOWAS, Mauritania, and many others, with the people of the Gambia, and defended the values and principles of our union. We thank all those who participated, but we are particularly proud that it was under your stewardship as our first elected female president. You are a pioneer and an inspiration to all women and men. This is a token of appreciation to ECOWAS and all those involved. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Toutes mes félicitations. Vous avez très bien géré. Nous avons sorti des problèmes.
Take it from you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I hope we can all follow the example of ECOWAS that showed together, united in solidarity, we can achieve everything. I thank you. Asante sana, shukran. Muchas gracias.
That is the current and possibly outgoing chairperson of the African Union Commission, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, who possibly this could be her last speech as the chairperson of the AUC if at the AU summit someone else is elected, beg your pardon. Remember, our very own Amina Mohamed, Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs, is among the top contenders for that position to succeed Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, and will definitely be bringing you the events live from Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, as the heads of state are expected to vote this afternoon. And still on the same, African heads of state and government are set to elect a new African Union Commission chairperson this afternoon at the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. This follows failure to get the new AU chief in the July 2016 elections in Kigali, Rwanda, where no candidate marshaled the requisite two-thirds majority. Lobbying continues as Kenya pushes for the election of CS Amina Mohamed. For the latest update, let's now cross over to our reporter Duncan Haimba in Addis Ababa.
Well, right now we are in an open session here, and what we are expecting will be the acceptance speech of the new AU chairperson. Remember that the outgoing chairperson has been the Chad President Idris Deby, and he will be giving his final remarks then to pave way for the unveiling of the new chairperson. That is the reason why this particular session is open. Remember that earlier on, the heads of state and government met and a closed session where they discussed, among other things, of course, the implementation of the report that was adopted in Kigali, that is with regard to the financing of the African Union. Remember that the member states have agreed that by the year 2020 they want the AU to be self-reliant. That means that all African state members are supposed to be funding the union. Right now, of course, it depends heavily on donor, and therefore when they met in Kigali, Rwanda in July 2016, among other things, they said that they have to come with a plan on how by the year 2020 the union will be self-reliant. So that is one of the reports that was discussed earlier on in a closed session. Another report that was actually discussed under that closed session was the report of the Commission on the Continental Free Trade Area and the mechanisms to eliminate non-trade barriers in the continent. So those are two issues that were discussed under closed session earlier on. Of course, we know that the big one is at 3:30 p.m. when now the heads of state and government will get down to vote the new AU Commission chairperson. Of course, Samina Mohammed will be battling out with 4 other candidates. Now, interestingly, only the heads of state and government will participate. However, we will be having 4 more members that will be accompanying the president into that delegation. The purpose of the 4 members, we understand, PS Monica Juma, Catherine, the ambassador to Ethiopia, CS Balala, and preferably Mwangi Kiunjuri will be accompanying the president with the aim to help in lobbying the event that the elections will go into a second round and third round. So the purpose of those 4 additional members in the Kenyan delegation will be actually to help in lobbying more members to support the event that Kenya finished the second round and maybe the third round. So that is what we are expecting to keep you posted at around 4 or 4:30 or 5 there. Definitely we'll be able to know who is the new AU Commission chairperson. From Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, this is Duncan Haemba. Over to you in studio.
Thank you very much, Duncan, for that update. And if you want to closely follow up the proceedings in Addis Ababa, we are bringing it to you live and interrupted on KTN News, even as we expect the main event this afternoon, which is the voting process for the next AU Commission chairperson. Now, a proposal that will see the current 844 basic education curriculum has been tabled today. The proposed curriculum will also see teachers being retrained afresh on how to disseminate the curriculum. Education Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i disclosed that the main purpose of the curriculum is to move away from exam-oriented assessment to competence, where students will be expected to have their potential discovered at an early age.
A key player in the education sector, TSC, through the teachers we employ, will implement the new curriculum. We shall prepare teachers for the new changes. We shall also work with stakeholders in changing the mindset of the learners and parents so that they accept the proposed curriculum changes. Cabinet Secretary, the objective is to update the public and also have the basic education curriculum framework on the curriculum reform process launched today.
We will now go into a working session so that one by one we will start by the leaders we have on the high table to begin to react to the framework that we have, and then we continue consulting each other until we are sufficiently done. The only last request I want to make of KICD, and I hope your board will allow me, is this. In the course of this year, because we will not get all the views that we want to get today, I'm going to request you to plan a quarterly open meeting at KICD, so that every 3 months you hold one open meeting, which provides an opportunity for some stakeholders who may not even be in this room, or people who look at this document and develop new thoughts. They bring them to you. You'll be available, so that we want to make sure everybody's opinion is listened to. That's how we'll be a great country. We don't want to lock anyone out. So every quarter, and you will publish it, buy a space in the papers, and put out the dates for that open forum once every quarter, so that the unions, the professional groups, if they look at the framework and they develop new thoughts, our development partners, civil society, they can come to the open forum and tell you this is what we think. Please include this also. and you can have a chance to consider this so that we can carry everyone with us and we can move forward as a coordinated group.
All right, let's now link up with our reporter Caroline B. live from the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development with more details about that shift. A very good afternoon to you, Carol. Thank you very much for joining us. It's going to be a shift from 844 to 2663 come 2018. Are the leaders and the stakeholders optimistic that we will be able to pull this off without any mishaps?
Afternoon to you, Akisa, and yes, the conference is currently underway. As you can see behind me, these are just delegates who are assembled here to see the way forward on the implementation of this new curriculum. It will have the starting point will be 2 years of pre-primary education before they can move on to the next level, before they can actually go to junior secondary school, then tertiary education. And in this new learning curriculum system, they will have to be segmented such that learners will have to choose between the sports and the arts, then there is the social sciences, and then the STEM meaning the sciences, technology, engineering and mathematics. And it has actually been broadened to give learners more room to choose on what exactly do they want to study before they can move on to the tertiary level. And the main aim of this new curriculum is to ensure that there is a lot of creativity in the students as opposed to the current curriculum which we have, which is mainly exam oriented, where learners have to sit for exam after exam. But for this new one, it will involve critical thinking, it will involve imagination, it will also involve citizenship, such that students will have to think about the global world, about things to do with cohesion and peace in the country. It will also involve a lot of other things where students will have their creativity determined. When it comes to sports, they will also have to choose on which sporting activity, and it will also include the students with special needs. They are not left out either. The main aim for inclusion of these special needs students is to ensure that they stay independent, or they become independent once they reach that stage, and they will not be subjected to the different stages compared to the regular students. But for them, they will have to undergo different stages, but still with a similar curriculum. But for them, it will be much more different. They will have to, as they start off, they will have to see their competencies in different levels, and then they will determine whether they will join the regular students or they will continue with their different levels. And for these students, for this curriculum, actually most of the delegates and the stakeholders here have actually welcomed it, and currently feedback concerning this new curriculum is underway. We've had the churches saying that it is very welcome for them, given that they own a lot of these Christian-based institutions in the whole country. And they are welcoming positive contribution to the same. But also, if they are told there is any negative contribution to the same, it is still welcome, since it is still a review. It has not yet been implemented, and it is just 10 years since a review of the curriculum was done. 30 years since another curriculum, that is the 844 system, was implemented, and now they're looking forward to bring another difference in the curriculum learning institution here in Kenya, which will mostly be based on creativity, critical thinking, and aspects to do with creativity among the students. And it's very important to note that sports will be included, social sciences is also included, and the broadening of STEM subjects for that matter. Akisa?
Caroline, thank you very much. Definitely it's going to be a packed curriculum that Kenya is getting into with the education curriculum. That is Caroline B. Joining us live from the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, and we'll definitely be bringing you more details about that shift from the 844 system. Now into politics, Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka and the Wiper Brigade continued their voter sensitization tour by visiting Embakasi East area in Nairobi County. The Wiper leader visited the Ruben Sports Ground and Nyayo areas where he addressed crowds. Kalonzo, who is one of the quad principals, also exuded confidence of clinching the opposition ticket to face President Uhuru Kenyatta in round 1 of the poll. He vowed to bring back the lost glory of the country once he clinches the opposition ticket. Musyoka was in the company of Nairobi Deputy Governor Jonathan Mweke, Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama, amongst others.
time has come. This is a time for Wiper to take leadership. Ndugu zetu wa ODM tuliwajaribia, wajaribu Wiper sasa, muone vile itakuwa. Tuko pamoja, lakini tutakuwa with a very strong coalition. Chini ya serikali tutaunda kwa chini ya muungano wa wapinzani wote ambao ni CORD ama National Super Alliance. Uko tayari?